All right, so let's start with what you've named this show and what this show consists of.
Yes, a tour of possible worlds came about because, in a way, I think every artwork kind of suggests a world that it might have come from. And through its formal properties, it kind of describes that world. In this show, we have representatives of 3 different kinds of collage. This is heat transfer collage. With these pieces, it's paper collage, one element from an existing painting migrating into another painting. And with the Picassoids, it's really layering 2 Picasso images on top of each other, perforating the top layer so that the 2 mix. So in all cases, I'm using existing art imagery to make new art. The art imagery that I use comes about from what I love. It's not ideological. It's like I'm very interested in Matisse and Picasso, and I've used their work a lot to try to do something with it. In this case, it's really an homage to another painter named Frank Bowling, who is a West Coast painter, someone I admire a lot. And I find I learn a lot by being involved with other artists' works, whether it's Sienese painters from the 14th century or people working contemporaneously. I feel like we're all in the same boat. And like scientists, we work out of what's been done before, what's being done now, and we borrow and we tweak and we join things together in slightly new ways. And that's what most innovation is about, as far as I can tell. So in this case, it's collage, but there's no paper on the surface. The imagery that I'm interested in using, I have transferred onto transfer paper. And that you can get at Staples. It's for putting images on t-shirts. And I've adapted it to an art making technique. And so the imagery is literally ironed onto the birch panel support. Paper is peeled off. So there's no paper here, it's just the image on the wood. And I like that directness and not that interference of a paper layer. In the other 2 bodies of work, it is paper collage. And as I said, with the Picassoid series, it's really taking 2 Picasso paintings and combining them. And they're combined visually by perforating the top layer so you can see through, and it creates a 3rd painting that is very Picasso-esque, but is different too. In these, which I actually made these during the COVID period, when we were all home scared and making puzzles and stuff. And started out as just fun, but curators have really found a lot of interest in them. What it is I've taken one element from a painting and placed it in another painting. So it changes the story of both paintings. So in the top one on the right, that Morris Louis painting with the pores is 12 feet wide, and it's just about paint and gravity. And the Picasso image in the middle is from a much smaller painting, but coloristically they just seem to fit together. And now it's like a magical woman sitting in a magical waterfall. So that's just plain fun, to use a Mondrian as a kind of a window, for a Picasso portrait. It's just hard to resist, I would say that fun and curiosity and experimentation is at the heart of all of this work, certainly with the Picassoids, because he's the towering genius of modernism. He is to art as Einstein is to science, right? But you can playfully improve on Picasso, I found. In some cases, he might have a kind of a boring, dull background, and then another painting seems to be a little bit overly busy. I combine them, solve both problems. Background's now activated, and it's not too busy. So that's a lot of fun. And I think what's at the heart of the Picasso series is that you have control. Your choice of images is your control. But you never know what you're going to come up with. You're always going to be surprised as you lay on the top layer how the 2 blend and merge. And once I got started on those, I made over 200 of those. And it was because I just couldn't stop. It was so interesting. So yeah, that's pretty much it. 3 kinds of collage.
Yeah. Explain the dots to me. Is that how it's perforated or what?
Yeah, perforated with a little hand punch, So I cut the top So for a bigger piece like that, those are posters that I got at the Museum of Modern Art. That's how I got to make bigger ones, right? The others are literally from books. And the top layer, I just punch, 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 and you can punch more holes. It shows more of the background image, fewer holes, you know, so you can adjust. And I sometimes leave and piece back in little, you know, round things, you know, I'm trying to paint with this ridiculous methodology. As I am in all of these, I'm really like a painter without the paint.
So again, for all of these ones that have this either, you could say checkerboard or even quilt sort of feel to them, you're actually producing the little squares individually and then assembling them?
Yeah, exactly. So the little tiles, and they are very much like quilts, I arrange them and rearrange them as a quilter might. When I get them all right, I number and letter them, and then it's like printmaking. The whole thing flips. As you turn each piece over, the whole image flips like in printmaking. So you've got to be thinking about it in reverse. And then it's applied. It's applied row by row by row with a small travel iron. And you peel the paper off, you have the image right on the wood.
Interesting.
So I like that because most transfer techniques give you sort of a ghostly echo of the source image. This gives you just all the color of oil painting, and nothing is lost in the process.
It's very vibrant.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. And, you know, it's quite durable because, you know, imagery intended to go through the washer dryer. Most of our artwork isn't subjected to that or going out into the sunlight, so it's very fast. And it's great in that respect too.
Again, you indicated that, you know, you're largely working with artwork that you like, and I think it's pretty clear what sort of artistic styles that you like, but are there particular themes that you're drawn to? Any special imagery that you find you like, or is it really more about the aesthetic?
It's a lot about the formal possibilities of what can I build with this imagery, but it's a good question because I fell in love with Mughal Indian painting, and their color and their compositions are just unbelievable. So in a way, working with existing art imagery gives me the opportunity that art historians have to immerse myself in another culture and learn about it and derive from it, you know. So Indian painting, I'm in love with Picasso, Matisse. I'm in love with Clay, Klimt. In this, Mr. Bowling, Sir, it's an homage to Frank Bowling. There's every kind of imagery that you can think of. There's Klimt. There's geez, I've even forgotten now. There's all kinds of things combined. It becomes my paint at a certain point, you know, piecing things together. So it's kind of a crazy process in the sense that you're working with a grid. But as you can see, the grid allows a lot of organic and lyrical movement anyway. So that's the fun of it, is playing those two things off each other and coming up with something, and hopefully that suggests a vibrant world that we, you know, can visit.
Yeah. All right, will you be here for the opening reception tomorrow evening?
Absolutely. I'll be here.
And I assume it's up for the month of October?
Yep.
Wonderful. All right, I'm good unless there's something else you'd like to add. I didn't think to ask.
Only thing I want to add is a shout out to the city of Binghamton for the incredible renovation of State Street. I'm just blown away by it, and artwork in itself.
Great. All right, well, thanks.